I could not be here breathing and be comfortable if I was really as bad as they was making it. You know, nobody could be around me. So for me to be this calm, I must have some kind of inner peace. And my inner peace is knowing that once everybody take the time to really see what type of person I am, you'd be surprised that I stuck around this long.
I have to make the
Make sure all my mics is on mute. Blessings, blessings. I don't have my headphones on. Can you hear me? All right, blessings. Hopefully I can see y'all guys in the chat. Please put one in the chat if you can hear me. This is the first time streaming on this equipment, so please bear with me, okay, guys? So what we're going to be doing is a recap on Dolton, all right? I'm so happy to be here. Things looking a little different, though, okay? Yes, so today what we're going to do is do a brief recap. Blessing, Prima Donna, thank you for being here, and I can see you. Hopefully the chat will show up on the screen. I was doing my producer thing today, trying to get it together. How I do, y'all? I like it. It look nice. This is the basic. All right, so basically what we're going to do today is go over the Stephanie Wiedeman interview. Okay, y'all know that I called out some things and I asked some questions about Stephanie Wiedeman and her career and her reputation, highlighting that she connected herself, or someone connected her to them, which is Jedediah. So real quick, we're going to just look at a few clips off of Lansing Journal YouTube page. Shout out to them. I'll put the information at the bottom, but we're going to listen to what she has to say. We're going to re-evaluate it, because this is actually her first statement coming out, because she never made a real statement, said that she was part of NIA, but now she made her statement stating she's running. Okay, so let's go.
Then they're, submitting requests, they're asking questions, and they're not getting answers. And then that also smacks of Tiffany Henyard. We couldn't get information. We went through all the processes. We tried all the different ways of communicating and just got nothing.
I wish I had coffee.
And that feels very similar. They're,
all right, so this is one clip. Bear with me. We're going to be having it together. I'm going to be putting the other clip up there real quick. These are some of the clips that was put up there by, oh, hold on 1 second. All I have to do is this. Give me 1 second, y'all. This is just so new to me. I'm so used to StreamYard. I got spoiled. So
I think I should just be clear.
Let's see.
In my heart, I believe that Tiffany was a criminal.
Let me see. Can we put this on the screen real quick? In my heart, I believe Tiffany was a criminal. But in her heart, she don't believe. Let's listen to her say it.
I think I should just be clear. In my heart, I believe that Tiffany was a criminal. I do not believe that is the case now. So I just, for me, with Napoleon, absolutely not. I would never think that.
Absolutely not. Let's play this one.
What can residents do about candidates who won't participate in those forums? Don't go far.
Now listen to this, y'all.
If they won't express to you who they are, if they won't give you an opportunity outside of that forum to see what they stand for, or to another option, they don't have to participate in the forum, but if you're not given a way to get to know them, then just don't vote for them.
But it's not as easy as that, especially when you have a Democratic railroad train called DOTS. okay? So even if people didn't agree with Napoleon, obviously, I'm not out there, but I didn't agree with the tactics. That doesn't mean that you guys just, was good with it. Yeah, it was appropriate, like it was going to work. What we need to have is fairness and transparency. All right, so what we're going to do, I just wanted to put those up there. You guys can hear what Stephanie Wiedeman said as far as what the people should do if their candidate is not communicating with them. Yeah, just don't vote for them. It's that simple. Or, as she say, I don't believe that Napoleon is a crook. And I'm just going to plead the fifth and mind my business. So right here, do we have it on the screen? Ooh, I hope we got it on the screen. Bam! Yeah, doing good. How I'm doing, y'all? How I'm doing. I'm still working on it. All right, so here is the full interview. What we're going to do is watch this interview, and then what we're going to do is also, I'm going to go into the Dolton meeting that took place, I think on the 18th. I missed that one. So we're going to watch it. But I do have just two things that I want to bring up based on the minutes that was released the last board meeting. Some of the things where basically they were talking about the fiscal year of 2024 to 26 in Dolton. So we're going to look at that document, and we're just going to look at two sections today because I don't want to be long-winded, but I did want it to go live. I'm excited, y'all. Finally off of StreamYard. I was on StreamYard for like 2-3 years. All right, so let's just play this real quick, and we're shout out to Lansing Journal. We're going to get straight to the interview.
Sometimes life throws
And
you
it said,
a curve.
nope, you're going to get straight to a commercial. Please hit the like button and turn on your notifications. Thank you guys if you always had your notifications on. All right, let's go.
Wiedeman, you announced last Friday that you are running for Thornton Township Democratic Committee person. This comes after repeatedly telling people that you were not interested in politics or public office. And here I am running for the most political seat in the Southland. Yes. In fact, your announcement mentioned that you've never been interested in politics or political office. So, what changed? What happened?
So it's kind of been a long road, and every time I said that, the seats weren't for me, that, I was better in other capacities, and didn't mean it. It's not like I didn't feel that way. I just feel like, you pour yourself into things, and you have visions, and those visions grow, and you wanna see what you're a part of, grow with that. And I think over the years, I've been afforded the opportunity to be a part of something that showed growth in the same vision.
Wait, do y'all think that she's gonna ask her about INA? Huh? We're gonna listen. I know y'all watched it. I ain't watched this yet. I know she ain't gonna ask about no damn INA, but let's just listen. Cause now that's a stain that's on your political belt. You shouldn't even let that man say anything. But I'm waiting, okay? Let's go, Stephanie.
That I saw, and I think that current day, I'm not in a position where that vision aligns as well. I made a choice in 2022 to support the current committeeman, and I believed in him, and I still do. I think that he does have a vision that is his, and it just doesn't look like mine. And so now I'm left in a position where the opportunity comes up where I can either just hope that it may go the way I envision it going, or I have an opportunity to step up and make sure it goes in the...
So she's saying that she don't like Napoleon vision. Y'all could get in the chat. I'm going to be in the chat under my other account. Let me know, because I don't want to keep replaying it. But is she talking about Napoleon? Who she said she don't like the vision? Because she don't like Napoleon vision, but she like Jedediah. Let's please clarify, because I didn't hear who she's talking about.
For me, that, I was better in other capacities, and didn't mean it. It's not like I didn't feel that way. I just feel like, you pour yourself into things, and you have visions, and those visions grow, and you want to see what you're a part of, grow with that. And I think over the years I've been afforded the opportunity to be a part of something that showed growth in the vision
Napoleon
I saw.
vision.
And I think that current day, I'm not in a position where that vision aligns as well. I made a choice in 2022 to support the current committeeman, and I believed in him, and I still do. I think that he does have a vision that is his, and it just doesn't look like mine. And so,
Okay, so I hear his and I hear mine, but I don't hear the people. That's definitely missing in this equation. I can understand that he definitely have a vision, because what I'm hearing now, he running the things out there like Russia. But what do you think is her vision? I hope she clarifies it.
now I'm left in a position where the opportunity comes up where I can either
She mad at Napoleon.
just hope that it may go the way I envision it going, or I have an opportunity to step up and make sure it goes in the way I see it. Because there is a vision of growth and participation, and that may be a long-term goal for them, but it's been 4 years, and
Okay, I see the chats
I
coming
just feel
up.
that I wasn't
Oh no, y'all.
I wasn't valued there. My experience, my opinion.
That sound familiar. Give me 1 second, y'all. I see it. I see the thing coming up now. That's a good look. I was looking for the comments to come up. So yeah, um, she said she felt like she wasn't valued. She just got there, but obviously something sounds familiar, because that's what Jedediah said. Probably put that stuff in her head, got her thinking all types of crazy ways. But I'm still trying to figure out, did she ever really work with Jedediah? Honestly, I'm gonna tell y'all this. I'm gonna say allegedly. I heard that she was making phone calls for him, trying to get him on platforms, but I can't verify that because I don't have the proof myself. So I'm still stuck on this thing, y'all. Y'all know I'm not gonna let it go. I don't care how long she run for committee woman, whatever. I'm gonna keep bringing this up as long as she don't address it, because we don't know what she's doing with Jedediah. Okay, we don't know. Really don't know.
In my So I think that it's fair, because we live in a democracy and this is what we do. I think it's fair that I should be able to give it a try for myself. So that's what I decided to do.
There's a reason that Socrates said the unexamined.
This is a commercial. I forgot to make coffee, y'all. I had my son to make me some coffee. Jeez.
About growth and participation, you're talking about the electorate getting more participation.
Yes.
The Democratic organization.
Because voter involvement is important. It's getting residents engaged. It makes the process fair and equal.
Well, let's talk about
What, y'all? What? I'm sorry. I want my coffee, but this for fair and equal. Wasn't she at the caucus? See, this is where I say it's hypocrisy for me. I'm just gonna be honest. This is the hypocrisy. Y'all, we all saw what Napoleon did. We all, and they were all good with it. Now the fairness is the fair. Girl, let me order my coffee for my son real quick and let you talk.
the role of committee person. I think that's a role that not many people may even be aware of, or don't realize that it's something that gets voted in. Like, what does that role do? Why should the average Thornton Township resident care about that?
Well, because that role essentially endorses who your local elected officials are. So it is, part of I'm running for the Democratic Party, so it would be part of the Democratic Party. But we would slate who the supporting candidates were.
No. You disqualified ASAP. You know why she disqualified? Because she thinks, or Jedediah said, that she's working with him. And anybody who thinks that Jedediah is normal, sane, a good person to work with, you should not be choosing who could be or be on a committee that helps choose who could run. We don't know. I'm questioning not only your integrity but like your logic, your common sense. So no. Okay, check X.
In Thornton Township. We also would do, voter registration, so that's where my voter engagement comes in and making sure people have a part of the process. It also gives some say in if, say, seats come available. Everybody kind of watched in December as the, appointment was made for the commissioner seat. So those come.
And you didn't like that. They didn't like that because Napoleon had too much power for them. And I do think so. I think Napoleon power is too consolidated. He has too much. He's doing too much. He has too much power positions, and that's what makes people nervous with him.
Weidman were the people that were part of that appointment process. So, should these seats open up, those decisions are made by the people you choose to put in those seats.
This is a power move. Y'all see what's going on here? Y'all see what's going on here? It's about to be a get back. They planning for the next terms coming up. This is a get back. She like, I don't like the fact that Napoleon have all of this power. This is what I'm hearing. It sounds like Ms. Wiedeman ain't happy with Napoleon. That's probably why her and Jedediah teamed up, allegedly. What y'all hearing here? Y'all just let me know. I'll be able to check the chats in a second. But y'all opinion do count. Y'all know y'all free to talk here no matter who y'all agree with, who y'all don't. We just ask y'all just to be respectful. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, it sounds like she feels some way about Napoleon. Am I reading into it too much? She like, bitch, I'm about to take your seat. Not today.
So it is very important because they could have a say that directly affects you.
So it's sort of behind the scenes, but it has a very visible
impact. Absolutely. And it's very behind the scenes, so much so that you're right, a lot of people might not know. It's a position that is really built on relationships and how you work with people and other elected officials, and it's never about the money because it's an unpaid seat.
You see me put my head down? She says about relationships and how you work with other people. And again, I'm going to keep bringing this up because she better address Jedediah making this announcement on Facebook. Maybe the people of Lansing don't take him serious and just like, yeah, that never happened. But it happened. It happened. And yes, Mike, I agree with you. This is a very powerful position. And it looked like Wiedeman about to get back. She like, man, this for my homie Zuccarelli. This is she about to get him.
It's really just about representation and making sure that what we bring here represents us the way we want to be represented.
So you referenced the current committeeman, which is Napoleon Harris, and before that it was Frank Zuccarelli. And I believe both of those people held that position as well as the supervisor.
Wow, I didn't even know that. Oh, I just was talking, y'all. I was just talking. I didn't know that Zuccarelli had this position. Oh, she coming back for the bat. Like, psh, that's my favorite guy. I'm going to take this position real quick. But honestly, I'm going to tell y'all this. Because Jedediah aligned himself with her, it is really hard for me to listen to the words she say and not compare them to what I have seen. They want to make sure that people have representation, things like that. That is not aligned with nothing we have saw her what is he? What the fuck is he? The chairperson? The captain? Captain Deluxe? What is Jedediah position in NIA that don't exist? Whatever it is, her boss, the way he acts, you cannot be aligned with democracy and representation of the people. So I'm going to try not to run it in the ground with this Jedediah thing, but I can't detach it, y'all. It's hard for me. It's easy for y'all. I think I'm turning into the South Side, honestly, because that's not a total good approach to say, okay, you this type of person because you with this person. But if you're with gang members, you may be a gang member. Do you see what I'm saying? But it's sometimes the brother could be around and just be like, oh, my brother, a gang member. But that's not, y'all see, I always go back to that. I don't mean to be using that as an example. But y'all see what I'm talking about? Some things, the relationships, you just can't help. But because this relationship was something that came out of the blue, or this alleged relationship, I can't untie it, y'all. Until she make a statement, I'm sorry, I can't untie it. Y'all let me know, can y'all untie it? Or do y'all think it's okay? No, if I got Jedediah supporters in here, y'all would be like, she is perfect. NIA is the next president. What is he? The chief of police? That's what Jedediah is now?
Is that
I'm sorry, y'all.
Inherent conflict of interest? I don't believe so. I think that.
Ever wondered what your home looks like from space?
This is exactly what happened before. It like takes away from the interview, just like before. I'm telling you, just like, okay, I'm gonna not say anything else about that man. It's gonna all be about Wiedeman. But this is how people felt when they saw a house on his show. You couldn't separate. You was like, oh, what the hell? Okay, but I'm gonna leave it alone, y'all. So let's just listen to what Wiedeman have to say, okay? Hopefully my son making my coffee. Hold on.
Because they were held by the same person for a long time.
Okay, so she's asking, is there a conflict of interest? Let's listen.
So you referenced the current committeeman, which is Napoleon Harris, and before that it was Frank Zuccarelli. And I believe both of those people held that position as well as the supervisor role. Is that a inherent conflict of interest? I don't believe so. I think that
they're very separate seats, actually. I think people combine them because they were held by the same person for a long time. The committee person seat is a very political seat. It 100% politics. Doesn't have anything to do with tax funds. It doesn't have anything to do. It's completely.
But it has a lot to do with the seat, because obviously the committee man was able to finagle stuff the last caucus and get Tiffany out of there without even a vote, without even listening to anybody. Y'all know I don't like how the caucus went down. I don't care. Tiffany was going to lose anyway, but they should have just let her lose. You know, they should have just been honorable about it.
Politics, whereas the supervisor seat is a very working position. You're elected to it, but you're elected to it to do a job, not to be a politician. So they're very, very different. Like, politics isn't allowed in the township because you're using taxpayer funds, but politics as a committee person is all you do. So I actually think that one kind of has nothing to do with the other.
At least it should be that way.
It absolutely should be that way, yes. You know, of course, when you're one person holding, you know, multiple seats, I don't think that they need to blend at the same time, but to think that they don't blend ever would just be, you know.
They should.
You're one person.
They shouldn't. It's too many people in that square foot mileage that need a job. That is, I think. Go ahead, come in and come around. That I think is highly qualified to get this position. That was you knocking on the door? Maybe I want coffee so much I heard him knocking on the door.
But then I don't see anything wrong in holding both of those positions. I mean, the committeeman seat, I believe, I don't believe it is a seat that can be held with any other seat, because it is unpaid and there's no tax money involved at all.
So you just have power to choose who gonna be where, and maybe it's not directly paid, but maybe it's paid. Y'all know what I'm talking about? You know what I'm talking about?
It is a fully political seat.
Your announcement flyer says you are, quote, fighting for government transparency. Transparency is a word we hear a lot from politicians in Thornton Township. Tell us what you mean when you use that word.
I want honest, open politicians. I just want people that can sit down and have a conversation with the residents and explain and be willing to bounce ideas, be understanding. Yeah.
Sounds like you're saying there's an element of accessibility or transparency.
Yeah, I just want to make sure that
Oh, they must have had to do something. It was a cut in that video. She must have couldn't get it out.
communication is there, because if we can communicate about things, we can build trust. And if we build trust, we don't end up in this cycle that we've seen for the last few years, which, nobody wants to go through that again. And residents, I think, are paying attention in a manner that they weren't before, and that's invigorating for somebody like me, because that's what I want. I want them to pay attention. I want you to ask questions. If we're doing something wrong, I want you to point it out so that we can make corrections. We are not perfect. We are human. So nobody's, if your expectation is for anybody in an elected seat to reach perfection, I think that that's not fair. I think that we want to do our best by being open and honest and hearing people's opinions and making adjustments based on the majority. I think that that's a fair ask in our government.
I agree with that. Y'all don't agree with that? I agree making decisions based on the majority and not just one big dictator. So if Napoleon coming in like that, I could see how she's uncomfortable.
I don't think it's an unrealistic expectation. I do think we have people that meet that. I just think that those people are overtaken by the people that don't. It's there. We just have to find people that are willing to step up.
Come in,
and,
please.
maybe I'm the start of that, because we don't have to be one of them to run. We don't have to be a lifetime politician. We don't have to be this person that fits in this perfect little box. I don't fit in that box. I'm way outside of it, and that's okay. But that doesn't mean we shouldn't try.
It sounds like you're saying that the whole system isn't broken,
The whole system isn't broken.
but there are parts of it that are broken.
Yeah. But I think there are people that are willing to pick up those pieces.
Thank you.
I believe there's people that are currently running, that are currently in seats, that really do want what's best for the community. I've seen those people. I know those people. They exist. And they exist in places that we may not think it either, Honestly, there's not a part of me that doesn't think that most of the elected officials don't want what's best. I think that when you make it a career instead of a service, it kind of changes how your decision-making process goes.
Exactly, and that's what they have done. They have made being a politician a career politician, just like they made advocacy being a career advocate, running, jumping from place to place just to get a hook, get a little high. But that's not how it's supposed to be. The original foundations of both of those positions is actually for the people, working for the people. So yeah, we have some serial politicians here, and she said, Stephanie Weidman said, I'm about to stop all this shit. I'm about to get my man Jedediah in here. Shut up, y'all. I got to say it.
You have gone from working for Supervisor Frank Zuccarelli to being fired by Supervisor Tiffany Henyard.
That's good.
To being chosen as a replacement trustee with Supervisor Henyard in power, to accepting a job with Supervisor Napoleon Harris, to resigning from that job. All that happened in the past 4 years. How did all of that lead you now to running for political office? Was there a triggering event? Was it all leading up to this?
I think that all of it plays a part in how I ended up here. But really, this seat in particular is primarily based on my experience in the Democratic organization. It really doesn't reflect my time at the township at all. Because again, they're very separate to me. I know because it says Dolton Township, people just assume that they're connected, but they're not.
There are staff roles there, and there are elected roles there, correct, that are not necessarily being one.
They connected because what they was doing was crossing positions, where you have one in one elected position and then working on the other side in Dolton in the town, one on the board. So that you can't pretend that this don't need to stop. I'm gonna be honest. all of these cross seats and acting like these are the only people that can be politicians in this area, it needs to stop. It really does. I don't agree with this.
Nothing to do with the other. It's just a Thornton Township Democratic organization because it covers the towns within Thornton Township. It has nothing, they're not connected in any way. So I just...
Yes, they are. Because the same people who are running is on the dots. And if you ain't in dots, you ain't getting in to run. You ain't getting in. Exactly what we saw with Henry.
I don't know that anything that happened with me as far as my employment led me here, but my participation in the Democratic organization is really what kind of put me here. I want to give it a shot and put what I feel out there, and you know, I didn't have the capacity to do that under the organization as it sits.
Let's get specific. What are some examples of things in local?
It sounded like Napoleon wasn't letting her do what she wanted to do. Or, honestly, let me say this. From what I was hearing and what I saw, she was hauling butt around, like doing stuff. And he probably did take advantage of her. See, that's what I'm saying. You can't be too nice, Wiedeman. And you can't be spiritually blinded either, Miss Secretary.
Government that are not transparent right now, but should be.
So you can start with something as simple as like websites. Websites are a very easy thing to show transparency. We can make a tab that says transparency. All of the board books can be up there. The invoices attached to them, the warrant list, the resolutions, you know. Everything
It's beautiful. I love that.
And it's being done in some places. There are communities that do this. There are, I have, you know, over the last couple of years, done my due diligence and kind of done research and checked meetings, and I was communicating with somebody who was explaining to me the way that Juliet does these meetings, and, you know, they have the meeting where the residents can speak, and then, you know, the next week is the board meeting, which goes quickly because the meeting before that, where they got all the residents' opinions and communicated with them. Their website was amazing. You can find everything you need on there. Like, it was very impressive. So there are models, there are communities, even communities here that are already doing it. You know, there are communities within Thornton Township that do have an amazing website that will show you their bills list and things along those lines. So they're...
Oh, she came in trying to set shop up. And sound like Napoleon said, no, we're not doing that. Plain and simple. No. Now we have to figure out what the trustees are doing, because we still have not heard a peep. A peep. Is Gonzalez on the board still? No, Gonzalez not on the board. I can't remember who on the board because nobody says nothing. The only person I know is on the board is the dark-skinned guy and Mary. I can remember off the top of my head. Because ain't nobody else saying nothing. Name 3 Thornton Township board members right now. I bet you y'all can't name them.
Ambition to do it. I just think it should be a consistent thing.
Other than the ones I named.
Things like that make it easy because, well, now people may come and ask you specific questions about what they see, but it avoids the, it avoids the FOIA process of, you know, having to spend all this money of them trying to figure out what they need to know. We'll just put it out, and then they're going to have a question about this bill, but those are easy to answer, rather than employing 700 things to find one thing that may or may not mean anything.
Right.
Yeah, so I think that sometimes as elected officials, we make it harder for ourselves, so I think it doesn't matter to people, you know, when it does. Just make it accessible, make it easy, but the website would be an amazingly easy way for everybody to start. You know, I think
and I agree with you, Mike. I agree. I don't think Napoleon wants to be transparent. He don't care about being transparent because he don't resonate with the people. He don't care about them. He can't get any benefit but his paycheck that's going to come regardless. Do you see what I'm saying? So he ain't got to negotiate. He don't got to move and shake. He don't care. He don't care. And that may have been one of their conflicts with Wiedeman, you know, as far as transparency. But I keep thinking about INA. I'm not going to say it. Maybe you know what she is. Because I'm like, how she want transparency and she deal with people like Jedediah? It would be, you know all the stuff that I'm telling on him on, like, just not transparent, not tell the truth. But I think it's because he talks so much, she may think that he's telling the truth. Cause I'm like, I'm looking at Wiedeman, and I don't get the vibe of the devil. Y'all know me. I be like, oh, I don't know, that's not the devil. I don't get that totally from her. I'm not saying that she a goody goody, or maybe she could just hide it. But I don't know. What do y'all think? I'm still trying to feel this woman out, because I totally like don't know her. How you be like, oh, I don't know that person right there. At first, when we was like, yay, wait a minute, come and be trustee, we knew that woman. This woman right here, we don't know her. We don't know her.
A forum where there could be questions and answers that are, open, honest. None of us like to be, caught off guard. But again, we're human. If you don't have an answer, say that and get back to that. Follow through is important, in settings like that. But there are ways to make the residents feel a part of the process. And I think they deserve that.
Yeah, it seems to me, just from attending meetings and reporting on the goings on, nobody is looking to expose somebody or surprise somebody. People want to believe in their elected officials. They want to participate. And when simple things like a website don't happen, then people get frustrated, and that's what starts to show up at meetings. So even those small changes can make a big difference.
Huge. Yeah. And, I think that starts the process of building trust. And once there's trust, I think that, some of those questions look different. People's view.
See, I'm with you too, prima donna. Transactional leadership will not work well with servant leadership. Yes, and how they just basically getting in positions just for that particular situation and hooking up with people. Is that what you're talking about? You know what I'm saying? I totally agree. Mike, you gonna name a few? Don't be Googling talking about some Chris. I did want the names though. Thank you. You had all of them. Did you Google? I done forgot about Valerie Stubbs. You know Valerie Stubbs got a mouth on her. Have you? The only time I heard something from these trustees is Chris Gonzalez. You said Mary Avant, Miss Stubbs, and Stanley. Thank you. Only time I heard anything from them was when they were getting on us, the residents, the YouTubers, the people who are asking the questions that don't need to. I'm gonna be honest. I done forgot these people's name. Oh my God, they better start talking. Let her finish.
Change when you can trust. And I think we should all be able to trust our elected officials.
And just from my conversations with people and from things that I see on Facebook, it does feel like trust is eroding between people, and I think between the Democratic Party. I think it goes all the way up. I think people felt abandoned during the Tiffany Henyard years because no one spoke out against that. It was the people going to higher levels of government trying to help, and it felt like they were not heard. It seems to me it could take a long time to rebuild that trust. Do you have a more optimistic view?
I do, just because I think that comparing long-term service to 4 years is something that we've never actually had to witness before.
Okay, I'm gonna let her finish, but the same thing that happened under Tiffany Henyard is the same thing that happened under Zuccarelli. But the only thing that Tiffany was flamboyant, and she was rocking out with her titties out, just didn't care, and she just was just not, how do they say, it had no etiquette to get shit off and it be more calmer. But it is the same thing. Zuccarelli had his budget. He has budget for his car, just like her. He didn't spend as much as activities as Tiffany did, but I'm gonna be honest, she had that shit popping. If she had it popping with activities, she did not manage the money correctly. I will say that. And that wasn't just her, though. And I have to be honest. Big Booty Hunt, he's still there. Why is he there when we literally saw Hunt spending money on wigs and all types of shit that he wasn't supposed to at the cookie shop and pumpkin patch, and it was all types of stuff under Hunt. So it was a systematic failure. Honestly, it was a systematic failure. And I think the only reason why it blew up because it was here, and y'all gonna hate it. Y'all, they be ready to get on us. They be ready to get on us. I could say the same thing somebody else say, and they will be mad as hell at me. Versus when that motherfucker said it, like a prime example, I'ma say it. I was the first to say about the caucus. This is illegal. I said this shit is illegal for real. They ripped me to fucking shreds. Y'all know it. I'm gonna bring it up because Facebook got the proof on Dolton politics. Call me all types of names, disrespect my character. But then after a long time later, far in the land far, far away, Jedediah says, yeah, you know I never agreed with the caucus, and you know I supported Nate Fields. Yeah, you know they wasn't listening to you. So, it is something against black women, okay? I'm just going to be honest. I don't give a damn. We get it hard. We're going to talk about that on our morning show when I talk about black women, Trump coming after black women. But I'm going to just be honest. But I didn't want to use that as an excuse for Tiffany because she was just rocking out with a cock out. She wasn't an average black woman. So I couldn't honor her the way things are. You see what I'm saying? But I'm going to be honest. This is not new. This is not new. And anytime I tried to go in and talk about Zuccarelli, just a hint in a second. And I love y'all. Because y'all grew. Y'all changed. The audience changed. The village of Dolton grew. Thornton Township grew. I'm telling y'all grew a lot. When I said something about Zuccarelli, they, oh, you're talking about a dead man. I'm like, no, I'm not talking about the dead man. I'm talking about the things that happened under his administration. Oh! Y'all keep it fucking real. Keep it real. Keep it. I'm just going, y'all. So now, people sick and tired of being sick and tired. And there's been a lot of us who just led by example and said, F y'all, we're going to keep talking, take the hits, don't give a damn. And now people like, fuck it, we just going to say what we want to say. It's still that tone out there, though, where they try to do, cancel her, cancel him if they say something. Y'all know, y'all already know. But it's been a lot of growing. I will say that. So, it is, back to what I was getting to. It's a little bit different when y'all talking about a black woman. Y'all been ready to be off with our heads and then wonder why we so damn hard. But I'm going to shut up. I'll save that for the morning show. Let's go.
We get, politicians and the norm, but this was something outside of what we're accustomed to. And more so just because it was made public and then she was willing to perform. So it produced a show.
Exactly what I just said. I said it a little long-winded, but she said the same thing. She made a show, but it's the same shit.
And I think that people were thrown off with how to deal with that immediately. Like it was oh no, what do we do? And then I think when
it was, oh no, we're exposed. Let me shut up. Now I'm about to sound like Trina. Where's the $7 million in cash? Don't forget, there's a big question mark about monies being missing between Zuccarelli time passing and Hinyard coming in, allegedly. And I'm going to let Trina speak that, okay? I'm just saying, because she got the facts. And I saw the money fluctuation in the budget of Thornton for the cash when I paid attention. It was like a 2-point-something million difference, but hey, I'm just from the outside. I'm just a content creator trying to figure shit out. And freedom of information requests sometimes. I slowed down on all of that, y'all. I had to take a break. But we do got some stuff we're going to keep going over. I had some stuff sitting in the vote. But let's keep it going. Let's keep going.
Time where people realized that something had to be done. There were so many things in place already that
I need to get my life together.
I think that
we could.
Well, I mean, there were already investigations, and there were already, all of that talk of things along those lines. So I don't know how that played into how people stepped in. Were there points where we definitely felt like there was no help on the other side? I would say yes.
Yeah.
Is the trust need to be rebuilt from there? Absolutely. I'm not sure what that looks like, though. I don't.
Yes, the trust needs to be rebuilt. You know what that looked like? What y'all think, audience? Tiffany Henry going to jail, being charged with something. The trust do need to be rebuilt. I'm gonna be honest, because I always say, write to the public officials. Tell the higher dogs. I don't know how many people were writing to the public officials, but they pretty much was aware of everything. Even Napoleon said something, because when they talked about the salaries and contesting his salary, he was like, I never said nothing about Tiffany's salary. I didn't say anything about. You see what I'm saying? So the people, they wasn't. Fitzer's a piece of. Yep. Didn't do nothing. Chaos Emerald. Oh my God. I'm blaming Fitzer for Jedediah. That's all we got was a bunch of fucking hot air, and Tiffany finally out with a rigged election, and the people with mad lawsuits. I mean, for real, seriously. And then to get Napoleon in, and he is just don't give a damn. His name is actually to his behavior. Napoleon complex. And then what we're going to talk about after this, because we're going to get into Dolton. You know, as I say, I got the report from that clean place. We're going to check it out. But it is a little discouraging. You see what I'm saying? You see why I'm a separatist, y'all? I'm going to be honest. I love y'all. I got into this because I used to really be into politics back in the day. I used to always listen to flare-ups and stuff like that with my grandma. Like flare-ups. When you go to Haiti, you better listen to where you're going to go on the news. 1010 Win and all types of places. But I was always into politics. But then it got to a point, even before I became a Hebrew, where I was just like, yo, this shit is a never-ending revolving door of stress and BS. And these people like doing this with each other. So I don't know how they will rebuild the trust back in people. But the first trust needs to go is people need to go to jail. Period. To jail. We need drain the fucking swamp. I'm still in Trump stuff, even though I don't like him. Drain the swamp. Jail. That's what's gonna build the people confidence up and stop locking us up and giving us tickets and them y'all pockets being lined. I think that's what's gonna bring it back. Honestly, not just communication. Let me just add that, because she keeps talking about communication. Well, you could talk to you blue in the face. You could talk just like you Jella liar and just keep getting lied to. You see what I'm saying? We don't want that. We want to see, show, and prove what's happening. And we also want to deal with accountability. No one talks about accountability. That's one of the things I talked about in my economic development class. I'm being honest. That's the downfall of the black community. We have no accountability. Yeah, he's Michael. I'm not saying Michael did it, but when all those allegations, but he makes good music, like, bitch, did you leave your kids? And I'm not blaming Michael. I don't know, but that's what all I'm saying is that type of stuff. Our level of discernment for what is right is superseded for what is bright lights. Does that make sense? Pizzazz and shit like that. Does that make sense? All right, let's move on.
I think because I've been in politics so long and there's an understanding of how things work, and I just think that I maybe am less hurt than the residents. But I don't think it was for a lack of care. In most cases, I don't believe that at all.
When you say it wasn't a lack of care, you mean from levels of Democratic government?
Right. I just think there was a level of surprise that nobody knew how to deal with it. Like, it really was unlike anything we've seen here before. You know, it was a tough 4 years. It was, really tough for the residents. And then just for the whole area in general. Nobody wants that kind of publicity.
Yeah, Tiffany didn't play nice with y'all. That's what I hear. That's what the fuck I hear. Tiffany from Mayor again in the audience, as I agree with you, just audit. But guess who don't want to audit? Who says an audit costs too much, allegedly? If I had my screen together, y'all know I would have put his big old bucket head right on the screen. Napoleon. Is they going to actually do the audit? Who's going to do it? And it better not be Buckethead Hunt. the person who messed up and cooked up the books, I agree with you. Just audit. But the simple things just don't get done. It just the simple things is just not common sense these days.
But now it feels like it's happening again.
I don't think.
Don't be scared. Don't be scared.
I think that it feels like there has been a dent in the trust, and I think that that dent in the trust has made people think that this looks like what it was. I think I should just be clear. In my heart, I believe that Tiffany was a criminal. I do not believe that.
I'm sorry. She said in her heart she believed Tiffany was a criminal. I just had a rush of thoughts that I know in the background that I can't even tell y'all. I'm going to just let this play.
Is the case now. So I'm just, for me, with Napoleon, absolutely not. I would never think that. There is a difference between.
Pick your words.
There is a difference between. I think that the way he's choosing to handle things, in his full right, I think the public isn't receiving well. But I would not compare it to anything that Tiffany has done, to be fair.
Well, you should, because the budget has increased just a little bit, and the taxation is increasing just a little bit, and then go down next year, then increase. We went over that. If y'all follow, y'all know we go deep diving. So shout out to the Dolton residents. Shout out to Mr. Roberts. I saw your comment under that video. Only like the residents were really like, people who deeply embedded in that. But yeah, you spend a little bit more money on other things, but also on some activities too, because the budget for bingo was $4,000 and it looked like it's $5,000. What are you doing? And then I mentioned that before a few lives ago, because I had a resident or so went out there and they like, I know we was complaining about the gifts that Tiffany gave us. I mean, just right here ain't worth $5,000. At least the gifts Tiffany gave looked like a reflection of the $5,000. Y'all remember we did the math. She was trying to buy her votes. But Napoleon ain't got to buy his votes because he controls so fucking much. He got the politicians afraid of him. Like I said, they never saw nothing like this because I think they could not control Tiffany. I have to say it. I was rocking out with a cock out, doing what the hell she wanted to do. And they didn't know how to handle it because I think it would have pulled a lot of people down with her. But she walked. Y'all gonna be mad as hell at me. Tiffany came out of fucking G. She ain't snitch on nobody. She ain't snitch on nobody yet. I'm just being honest. And y'all can't say, now the audience can say what y'all want to say because y'all know what y'all know. But for what I know, Tiffany could have been snitching. She could have been snitching. Listen to Trina. Go listen to Trina. Trina got that real deal, and then I got the Freedom of Information request size of the real deal. And sometimes we be just be flowing. I'll be like, yeah, and then I remember that. Oh, I don't remember that. What's that about? Baby, oh yeah, I heard about that. And it ain't from y'all. So that's all I'm saying. Let's let it just play. It's just, some things just hit me a little different these days. Because I ain't got to hold back. I'm holding back still, though. I told you I'm going to still be professional because the Lexi project actually starts today. It's supposed to start today. It starts tomorrow. I got some stuff to do. So I'm going to still be professional, but I ain't never scared. We going to call this out. Wiedeman, you ain't happy with Napoleon and all of this you saying. You better make a statement about INA. You better. Talking about we're going to be a commissioner. So she could control everybody. She's like, I'm about to get all you motherfuckers back. That's what she coming in for. She's coming in for the kill.
I think it feels similar because of the way it's being presented. But, I mean, the things Tiffany did, it's just not the same.
So the fact that they both
Because she a black woman.
salaries,
That's why.
and that was one of the first things.
I said
I don't think that's the same. I think that legally, but it was pretty sneaky. But okay, so he's not a criminal.
It's not funny. It's not funny. Now you laugh because in that clip I showed you, I do not believe Napoleon is a criminal. That shit is not funny. What he did with his salary, that's funny. I sound like a resident. Let me take a whole calm down real quick. That's not funny, Wiedeman.
A criminal, and that's what I said. That's what I said. I believe that Tiffany is a criminal.
And that was one of the first things that Napoleon did. You don't think that's the same?
Listen.
Because of the way it's being presented, but I mean, the things Tiffany did, it's just not the same.
So the fact that they both tried to raise their salaries, and that was one of the first things that Napoleon did. You don't think that's the same?
Deja vu.
I think it legally, but it was pretty sneaky. But okay, so he's not a criminal.
He's not a criminal, and that's what I said. That's what I said. I believe that Tiffany is a criminal. I do not believe that about Nagel. I believe the way he presented it. Again, if he would have sat down at a table and explained to the residents why he was doing what he was doing, you might have a group of them that were upset. Absolutely. But upset and trust can still go hand in hand.
So you think he had good reasons that he just didn't explain?
No. I think he had reasons. And that's okay for him because it's his decision to make. He's in the seat. I have to respect that.
He had reasons to come and increase his salary. He had reasons to make the people more uncomfortable with him. Do it sneakily. See that this is what makes me don't fit in, because I'm not gonna go for that. Like, no, Becky, that was not nice. Paul, shout out to you. Every time we have these deep dives, you know about the real stuff you hear. Thank you for being here. It says, if Stephanie become Democrat committee person, will she endorse humble public servants or buckle to party's pressure from above? Now that's what I said. I don't know, because I'm still trying to determine who she is, because I have to reevaluate her whole person, just because the connection to INA allegedly. That shows to me, not to nobody else. Whatever y'all think, y'all can put it in the comments. I will read it. It's severe lack of judgment, based on a quality of person, and then you want to be a committee person. So would she buckle to the pressure? I think what I'm seeing, in my opinion, maybe if you talk nice to her and you confuse her, you maybe could get her to be a secretary. Because I'm still trying to figure out how this Jedediah thing works out. That you're calling Napoleon this, but then you see this from Jedediah NIA. Do you understand what I'm saying? And that's a real factor in this. Even though he should not be a real factor in this, this affiliation is, because he's wreaking havoc and mayhem. Does that make sense? So I honestly, that's just kind of my opinion. If you probably talk nice to Stephanie, mix her up with some words, give her too many nice words and mixed up words like Jedediah do, you make her get it. But if you cold and you did it, I think she gonna buck up. And that's probably why her and Tiffany had an issue. And that's probably why her and Napoleon have an issue, because she's coming in saying, do this, let's do this, and Napoleon like, shut up. And she don't like that. Talk nice to Stephanie. Napoleon is good at doing unethical things that are technically legal. I guess that's what means he's not a criminal. The politically correct way. So for that's what I'm saying, for somebody to not tell the truth totally, like, you can't call him a criminal, but that is sketchy. Did she say he's sketchy? Let's listen.
Can still go hand in hand.
So you think he had good reasons that he just didn't explain?
No. I think he had reasons. And that's okay for him, because it's his decision to make. He's in the seat. I have to respect that. I didn't agree with the process in which he made the decision, which is why I made the decision to leave. It's not because he did anything illegal. He didn't do anything wrong.
Okay.
It was all completely legal.
Well, why you go to first place when he stole the caucus anyway?
I just felt like the residents deserved more.
I feel certainly.
Robert, y'all deserve more during the caucus too. Why are you picking and choosing when things are ethical? And this is what I can't get down with. It was not ethical from the beginning. It wasn't even morally right for him to do that and never address the residents. So he ain't doing nothing different than what he did from between the caucus until he got the position, shutting up and minding his business and not caring what the people got to say. She knew that. That's what I'm saying. She saw that. They saw that. I love y'all though. Y'all doing much better out there. Y'all very transparent. Not you, Robert. Robert, you come out. You came out with the hot sauce from the day one I met you at that protest in the park. Love you. You was out there to win it. But there's a lot more people are coming out to talk, and I want to send love to you guys for not being afraid, not caring about your reputations. It's a new year. Say what you need to say. Y'all have to flush these people out. And I'm not saying flush Wiedeman, flush this person, but y'all know what you have to do. You know these people more than just us content creators making videos on them. Get they asses out. If y'all gotta go again, just like I said last year before the election, that's why I stopped getting feeds here. I was saying go to the college. Go pick up college students, get them registered to vote. And that's what I was telling Nate. Nate, go to the college. He ain't listening to me. But I told him that, Nate, you remember. I said, go to the colleges, get to know them, tell them that you're a young politician. Is this important to get in? If you have this amount of voting power, we can get this in. It was about education, especially to the younger. No, they don't want that. So how are you going to actually change when you're not even increasing the voting base? And then you have her saying, oh, well, if you don't like the fact that they don't talk to you, don't vote. That's what the fuck happened. That's what ended up happening. Am I wrong, Mr. Roberts? Because the numbers of people who voted sound like they just was feeling like that. Like, well, he ain't talking to me. I'm not voting. It's so much that could be done.
Like, it would be hard for someone making that salary to relate to people in Thorn Township.
I think they can. I think that, I just, I
Look,
don't think his...
that was a cut, y'all. Y'all see that? She was at a loss for words. Now, I see you, Mr. Robert. You said Stephanie. Stephanie was one of our best township trustees. I wish that she was still on the board speaking up for what she knows is right for the residents. And that's what I was thinking too. I'm telling you, I was so gung-ho. But based on her decision with NIA, based on her decision, her talking, y'all got to watch this full thing yourself, not with me just breaking. Y'all going to see where the clips actually transition. She can't even get her words out totally to articulate how she feel about Napoleon because, again, people being politically correct. So would you have been totally transparent on the board? She probably would have fought up a little bit. And then like this, I quit. She probably would. I'd have gave it to her. I think she probably would have talked up. But I can't say that because I thought Mary was going to talk up. So you never know what these people are going to do because their ulterior motives is their political career. As she mentioned, this shit is career. It's not being a politician for the community. It's to make a career. And when you're looking at things like career, then you're not looking at people as being human. Like, you see what I'm saying? Just a career. Just a career. Okay? Like, I'm just here to make some money. All right. I'm thinking because that's what we go through in nursing. Because when people just think about it as just a career, patients just be dying. Me, I love my patients. I was like, this is not good for me. Fuck the career. I got to go. 401k out the damn window. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm just being real. I'm very ethical. I'm a very ethical person. So I just had to throw that. I'm thinking like, okay, career over people. There's a lot of different ways that you can, let that overcome you. But in these particular situations where it's life or death, is no excuse. That's why I don't have no sympathy for these elected officials, for cops who do what they do, and dumb healthcare workers who do what they do. You know what I'm saying? I don't have sympathy. I'm sorry.
Makes them view the constituents any different.
And I'm not necessarily saying that being wealthy automatically makes you look down on people, but it might make you unaware of
Oh my
the
God.
struggle than
I
it
don't
is
mean to laugh.
to stand in line for a service or to.
I don't mean to laugh, y'all. I laugh because this is my 8 ball. This is exactly what I was saying in the beginning. Because Napoleon can't identify with people. He can't identify with me or you. He's the boule. The services is not going to mean as much.
Rush your kids to school and work a 12-hour day job. You know, it's a different kind of just awareness of how easy some things can be when they're not that easy for the constituents you're serving.
Right. Yeah, I'm not sure that comes into play here. I think that something that would be a good idea would just be, you know, maybe figuring out like where the focus the residents want to see in a township, and kind of the people getting that together and presenting that. Like, you know, I do feel sometimes that
A resident coalition. Maybe that need to be head by some people, especially you, Mr. Roberts. I always tell you, go ahead and get in. You know, I kept telling you, go ahead, be a trustee. Well, at least do the resident coalition, sir. Come with some good ideas, because you know what the hell wrong, Mr. Roberts. You know what it is. They need you. Pull these people together, and then you have a lot of people who will meet you in the middle. I'm dead serious. Robert said, every time I come, Grace put the spotlight on me. I mean, that's something that's non-political, but it's political because y'all need a resident coalition. Y'all do. Without these people being part of it, and without content creators being part of it, I'm dead serious. I don't want to be part of it. I'll just watch on the side. You know what I'm saying? Whatever I hear outside, like I do, I just make a report. But I really think that's what y'all should do, because these people need direction. Y'all need to get y'all eyes on the people. Once y'all get together in these coalitions in different areas, y'all start cross-referencing who is who and who did what, and start moving these, move on out. Move on out. Out. Get them out. Seriously. Something y'all need to think about. And do it quietly. You don't have to make an announcement on Facebook. Nothing. Just guerrilla warfare. Start emailing your people, who the strongest people out there in Thornton and Dolton, who has the most base of friendship, who's kind. I know a few people who are. And y'all start rallying their email together, because they're going to be the smartest. They're going to be the nicest. And they're going to know people. But then you want to make sure they are not politicians. And they not related to politicians. They related to their politician, first generation, mother, daughter, sister. No, I'm just being honest. But anyway, y'all know I got to come up with a plan when I'm always complaining. But yeah, they need y'all. They need a coalition of us. Not me, but you know what I'm talking about.
as humans we instantly like get very defensive and very forceful, and you know, the minute people started to see something that like felt funny, it was I think that it would be better to know what we wanted to see and express that, rather than to, you know, just say, well, we don't want that, or we don't want that, or we don't, tell us what you want. You know, that goes back to that open, honest conversation, that transparency, that I think that bridge needs to be connected, and then there, you know, could be a little better.
And I'm going to be honest, people don't know what they want. Some don't. Because I hear some residents be like, well, we hired you to do it. You still got to know what you want. You got to know what's going on. And even if you see the problem, you got to give ways to fix it, because obviously they don't have the brain power, all of them, to figure it out. Start giving proposals into them. And I know the thing that be an issue out here on the south side, I'm just going to be real, is with the residents and content creators. I want credit for what I did. I want credit. Not saying I didn't want credit for, you know, things that I have done, but that shouldn't stop you from contributing, giving. You know, at this point, you know, when it comes to content and it comes to videos and shit, I always told who gave me the content or whatever, just to make people feel good, you know, because it is there. But that's a big issue, and that competition, the underlying competition, is another issue. It's not just the content creators too. It is wanting recognition, and when at the end of the day, y'all have to come together like an assembly line. And to get the finished product, it's not one person on the assembly line. And that's dead up. Dead up. These are some of the things that I noticed over the whole year that was issues as far as personalities and behaviors that keeps this stuff going. You know what I'm saying? Y'all know what I'm talking about. Let's go.
I think people are telling this administration what they want. They're, submitting requests, they're asking questions, and they're not getting answers. And then that also smacks of Tiffany Henyard. We couldn't get information. We went through all the processes. We tried all the different ways of communicating and just got nothing. And that feels very similar.
The best thing I can say is that there's a learning curve. Listen, you get a lot thrown at you when you come in there.
What's a learning curve? You're paying bills and you're budgeting. I'm gonna be honest, y'all. We too grown. We over 40. Y'all don't know how to pay bills and budget, what not to spend and what to spend. We have kids here. That's what Thornton Township is. That's what a lot of, not a lot of government jobs, but some government jobs, imprise of just knowing how to manage. If you know how to manage your household, manage yourself, and you're honest, you should be able to do the job. Yes, it's a learning curve, and I'm glad that they put a little budget for education. Y'all should have some PowerPoints or some damn videos and say, hey, you new trustee, this is your job. Like, everybody has orientation, but it should not be that hard. It really should not be that hard if you have a decent amount of literacy. That's just honest. The problem is just the honesty, the backhandedness, buckling of the knees like y'all talking about, buckling to dots. Because if you're not part of that, and whoever in the lead and saying what they want to say, you're not going to get in. That's why the caucus was dangerous as hell. It was dangerous because it locked people out. Everybody don't want to be part of a Democratic or Republican machine. We have people just like me, separatists. Let me stop. Well, you have people that just regular, that has ideas, and maybe they just want to try it. They literally cut off from the South Side. Never not one independent. They say if you go independent, like Jella Liar said, you go independent, you ain't going nowhere on the South Side. That's disgusting. How are we going to break that? Y'all got to put feet to the pavement. Go to the youth. Pull them in. Get them to vote. Give them incentives. Come up with programs. Like she said, we need your help. Pretty simple. Y'all don't like the budget or whatever. If that budget look crazy when it comes to activities, boom, $35,000 for the year. I'm just throwing something out there. This what it says on the report. I'm just throwing a number, and y'all like, well, we don't see nothing. Somebody like a smart Mr. Roberts come up with a spreadsheet. Well, $35,000. That's all y'all got for 12 months. Cool. Y'all got 15 programs divided by this. Is this how much you spending? Put it in their face. Put it on the glass. Keep on pressuring them, honestly. And some of the things y'all just gonna have to ignore, like some of the extra stuff that don't have nothing to do with what's going on with y'all in Dolton and Thornton. Y'all gonna have to ignore them characters and ignore stuff. I'm gonna be honest, because I see y'all fighting in Thornton and Dolton and Harvey to get the spotlight back on y'all. But honestly, shout out to WGN. Is that right? Because y'all know I'm a little dyslexic. I'll be saying WNG, but I think it's WGN. At least his name Brian. Is it Brian? Tell me his name, Mr. Robert. He's keeping his eye on y'all. So the only way that more eyes is gonna go on y'all if y'all keep on pushing the right stuff. Y'all gonna hit something that's so grotesque, and what they do is going to hit. Y'all need to keep pushing. So y'all know I'm gonna just keep talking, but let me move on. I'm gonna come with some suggestions. Hit the like button. I ain't here just to be reviewing. We gotta fix this. Me and you.
And then when you have a predominantly, new board, so you're not going to get much guidance there because everybody's learning. The employees, the ones, that have been there long term that are still left, of course, their knowledge is great, but
I agree.
I do think that some time should be allowed to figure it out. If I'm being honest, of course, there's a part of me that thinks it could have been easier if you would have valued the knowledge when you had it there, because I was willing to give it all. It's not like I was keeping any secrets or, but I think
So 4 months is not enough time
It's a lot. 4 months is pretty quick. 6 months, you got a better grasp. A year, but I mean, my big goal was like I've already been there. I've already done that, and I was willing to hand it over. I feel bad that I made a decision to leave because all of that did come with me. I hope they tap into the people that they have there to try and pick them up a little bit quicker. I would ask people just to be patient because we don't have a choice.
Yeah, we don't have any choice. But my question, I just want to highlight, she said that they knew to being trustees. Thank you for putting in the chat. Valerie Stubbs is definitely not new to being a trustee. That's a hot lie. Gonzalez is not new to being a trustee. Mary Avant know what she has been through. And I think being there on the front line, she has enough knowledge and to be an effective trustee. Stanley, he's just a yes man for Napoleon. I saw that from day one. I'm like, who is this guy? But they're not new. So like she said, you have no choice but to wait. Yeah, we're waiting. They better stop laughing. That's inappropriate. Y'all talk about me laughing inappropriate. That's inappropriate. This is serious.
I don't think it's for lack of caring. I just think that, and I would say lack of knowledge, but not in a bad way. Just in a, we're trying to get in and get it. Now, the one thing that I will say, I did watch the last meeting, and I did hear in the meeting the clerk say that they were, trying to catch up on FOIAs. I did get 2 responses to FOIAs that I submitted in 23 and 24. So to be fair, they are catching up. Okay, so I'm
gonna be honest, they need to knock it off. I'm gonna have to tell y'all this. Miss Wells was a good clerk. I'm gonna take a whole glass of shut the hell up. Every single Freedom of Information request that I had asked for Thornton, I got. The only one that I did not get was towards the end, after the fight with Jedediah and Kamal. I couldn't get information about Kamal, the youth program. They just direct me back to the budget, and I wanted detail. Maybe because they didn't have detail. But then my next request, there was another request I made, and I think it's the Kamal one. That was the last one where I was starting to get pushback. And that was into January, going like the new year, when the new administration was going in. So I cannot. I'm gonna have, because y'all know I was looking for a reason to get on Miss Wells before, like maybe your husband over there acting up. But she was a good ass clerk. I'm gonna be honest. She's about that life, like. So, what the hell are they getting catched up on? They getting caught up on all the new Freedom of Information requests that they put through. I know someone said that, one guy said he finally got an answer from a Freedom of Information request after I had made one, and he had posted it in Dolton Politics, if y'all remember. But y'all have to put y'all experience. My experience, that they was on it like this. That's how I was making so many videos. That's how I had so much information, and I still do. But I wanted to give the administration time to transfer over, and it was a lot going on, so I just was like, let me just fall back from this Kamal Woods thing, because it's going to get on my nerves. When you be chasing after stuff for so long, you just needed a break, so I had to take a break. But this new clerk, she's slipping. That's all of that to say, is that I think it's the new clerk, and I don't think it's Wells. So I just got to be honest. Y'all know I'm dead honest.
will say after 2024, now that resonated with me, because when she said it, I was like, well, I did get responses to very old FOIAs, so
Hold on, before I move on, Mr. Roberts, he said Loretta Wells was professional, but she was not the township FOIA officer. Tiffany's cousin, Tamika Hinyard, was. I told her 2 weeks ago that she did a better job than the clerk. Thank you for clarifying that, because I thought it was Miss Wells. So the Freedom of Information, but I like Miss Wells. I think I like Miss Wells, though. I like how she handled Smith. So I don't take those statements back about Miss Wells. I think she's a good person. But you verified that. Oh my God. It was Tiffany cousin. She did a fucking good job. I'll have to give it to her, I'm just saying. Them shits was coming out like bam, 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 bam. Like, Except for that Kamal Wood. Maybe that's probably why she's like, fuck that. Fuck that. Let her go in there and find some stuff to get other people in trouble. Okay, thank you for clarifying that for me, Mr. Roberts. You know I'm an outside resident still catching up. But right now, that lady who they got in, she trash, allegedly.
It might not be as fast as we want.
Until I make a Freedom of Information request. She ain't doing a good job.
It's happening. Communication is tough. I agree with you. The communication could be better. You know, somebody could be writing down those questions that the residents have at those meetings and then getting contact information. Call them back. Answer the questions so that they don't get at the next meeting and the next meeting. And so there are communication things that could kind of break down some of that. But it can be overwhelming. Like, remember, these people that have to respond to these folks also have other work duties that need to be maintained along with, you know, getting all of this information. And that goes back to our transparency page, which may eliminate a lot of this having to happen. So, you know, I don't disagree when you say that, you know, the residents feel like some of this is what we just went through. I think just because I have an internal view, I guess I'm not quite feeling that same way because I know the amount of work it takes to, I mean, imagine coming in and having 1,876 FOIA requests sitting in a mailbox for you. Like, it's not. I'm not it's not, but it's ridiculous. It may be more than that, honestly. It's a lot. So I think that when it comes to some of that stuff, there does need to be understanding. But again, I'm with you with the communication because that could solve a lot of it.
And some of the things people are asking for don't necessarily need a FOIA. So if somebody were just to answer the question, that would shorten the process.
Yeah.
It would not add to the backlog.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm not sure about stuff like that. That wouldn't be my approach, is the best thing I can tell you.
But you're not running for supervisor, you're running for committee person. Is there any influence the committee person role can have on the supervisor role or the township government role?
Other than, you know, who...
Other than Napoleon, you never get your ass in this position again. That's what she about to say. But let's hear what she say, y'all.
Who the committee person would decide to support in...
See?
2029.
Damn,
Yeah, 2029 election.
we can't do this.
So far, that's so far away. You think?
God, we gotta do this for another 4 years. Y'all, 4 more years. This gonna be a lot. I'm praying for y'all. I got y'all. I love y'all out there on the south side. I got family out there now. So, I'm gonna be here with y'all.
Harris was a good comedian?
I think that he has great ideas. Yeah, I don't think he's a bad comedian. I think his vision is just different than mine.
What the hell is the vision, though?
I really believe that's what it is. I have a very unusual connection to the residents. It's probably different than a lot of politicians. I mean, I've seen some that are very, you know, interactive in event settings, but like, I just come hang out with everybody. So I think that my view and my passion on the way I want to serve people looks different because of my relationship with the people. You know?
So you're voting as an incumbent.
An incumbent, yes.
So, my thing is how her relationship with the people is going to help her be a better committee woman when she's just going to be picking who could participate or, you know, be involved in that process. How is that a connection? You let me know, Paul. How is that a connection? She's going to have control over who can get in, like what Napoleon has, but I don't know how her relationship with the people is going to help her with the committee woman thing.
Which is difficult anyway. With the Democratic Party support, so that makes it even more difficult. Yeah, it is going to be a competition. But, you know, just like the supervisor, I was an athlete too. And we like competition. I think it's going to be a fun race, you know? Again, there's no hard feelings. I'm not running against him because it's personal. I'm just running against him because I feel like, you know, like I said, I have a vision, and I want that vision out, and it's different than his vision. So when we were together, you know, my vision's here, his vision's here, they may both have the same end goal. We're just taking different roads to get there. And I just want to try my road, that's all.
I would guess, I'm totally making this up, I've done no research on this, but I would guess that a lot of people who run for office or who are involved in politics and have been involved for a while are not really that interested in voter turnout. They would do better if fewer people came out. I guess at a larger scale, it depends on where you're from and who you are, you know, and what your goals are.
I need better light, y'all.
You know, some people want higher voter turnouts because it gives them, you know, different opportunity, right, for reach better abilities to improve communities. Of course, there are a large group of people that would hope your voter turnout would be very high. But yes, you could be right. There could be a group of people that are uninterested in it because the underdogs are kind of say
Because they don't involve
everything's
them.
comfortable if nothing's ruffled.
A big part of your platform is getting more people involved. You talk about the power of the vote. Is there really power in a vote?
I think that's better.
Have you ever lost an election by 2 votes? There's power in your vote. Because I've seen it happen.
Yes, it is power in your vote on the state level. Y'all know, if y'all could vote, do what y'all gotta do. Y'all already heard what I talked about, different strategies of getting more people to vote on the state level. Y'all hear what I talk about on the federal level, that's different. But this is, y'all vote do count, and people need to participate that can participate.
In my very own community, I watched somebody lose the mayor's seat by 6 votes. It's a community I live in. I could have those 6 votes. Like, it absolutely, every single one of those votes makes a huge difference. Again, if I can get people engaged, you know, if I can hit 5,000 more voters out than were out last election, then I feel like we're accomplishing something. You know, if I can get younger people involved, you know, I think that's important.
How should
Well, I hope she don't think she gonna get it with Jedediah.
people get informed about their choices?
Well, I mean, it's 2025, so internet is probably our best way. I think that sometimes regular meetings, of course, as a Democratic organization, those would happen anyways, but I think, again, website, making all the candidates, you know, visible on the website, making, you know, bios attached so that people can be informed, you know, forums where these candidates can openly speak and be asked questions that...
I'm not shaking my head no, because these are standard ways, but I want to hear if she's gonna say it.
Open honest questions, open honest answers, get to know who the candidates are, really, you know.
What can residents do about candidates who won't participate in those forums?
Now listen to this.
If they won't express to you who they are, if they won't give you an opportunity outside of that forum to see what they stand for or to another option, they don't have to participate in the forum, but if you're not given a way to get to know them, then just don't vote for them.
And it's not that simple. We're going to start right there on the interview because it's not that simple. Because y'all know I got questions for Stephanie Wiedeman and her integrity. And you didn't go on no open forum like someone who's non-biased that's going to ask you just questions. We're going to see if you're going to debate. You think you got a debate to go against Napoleon? That'd be good. I don't know how it work out there. You let me know, Mr. Roberts. But honestly, I do agree that, you know, there's a lot of measures that needs to be taken to basically get the people back into voting. But one thing she did not say, and that is going outside. Going outside, meet the people outside. That's what it is. You're not meeting the people outside. Young people, hold on, y'all, let me take this off the screen real quick. Young people, they outside. They outside, living their best life. You got to go where they're at. If they're having parties, they having gatherings, they having whatever, go and hand out flyers. Let them know that you exist. And that's what I have not heard. And that's exactly what Napoleon does not do. Go outside. And that's why people thought Tiffany had some type of hand up, because she was outside. The internet taught her new, but she was outside. So you need those things to work together, to be honest. All right. So I want to say thank you for being here, y'all. We're moving through. We've kind of been on for a while, but it's okay because I'm playing catch up with Dolton and Thornton right now. Just playing the Stephanie Wiedeman interview. I'm not going to go no more onto Stephanie Wiedeman. And again, I do want to clarify, because we did have someone lie on me and basically say that I was going after Stephanie Wiedeman and just made something up. And if you guys actually watched that video that I did, I questioned Stephanie Wiedeman intelligence integrity. Why would she put her career? So y'all go watch that video again. I will say never let someone else define who you are or define someone you're trying to get to know. Don't let them just put stuff in your head, just like what they did with Napoleon. Like, yeah, he's the shit. He's the big man on the block. And he ain't shit. He acting like he ain't shit. So anyway, let's move forward. We're going to look a little bit at this Dolton meeting. And the reason why I want to go into this last Dolton meeting, one, because I missed it. Two, because we do have the report that they had on the website. So you know I'm nosy. You know I'm nosy. Is it up there, y'all? Let me make sure. Okay, cool. I'm getting to learn this streaming equipment, baby. But here is the budget, the final budget, and this budget comprises of approved budget, the actual budget for 2024, proposed budget for 2025, the actual budget for 2025, and the proposed budget for 2026. This is Dolton. Dun 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 dun. I've been waiting for this forever. But we're not going to go all into the full 19-page document. We're just going to go into 2 pages that I found need to be highlighted. 2 particular sectors, and one is the police department, and the other one is public works. Okay, so we're going to listen to a little bit of this meeting, as well as look what we have on the screen. We also have the property proposal for safety clean system expansion. I got some questions. As y'all see, y'all know I am concerned. So they bring up the zoning, and we get to see a clear picture of that. And we just gonna spend probably just like another hour. Spend another hour with me. I miss y'all. We try to get back in the algorithm with at least the South Side. Shout out to my new subscribers with the new content. I guess I have a new morning show. As they've been waiting for me to talk about Trump, we're gonna dig into everything. So shout out to everyone who catch me at 7 a.m. in Illinois time and 8 a.m. Atlanta time. So let's get to it. We're not gonna do the we're not gonna, let's see. Did they have any questions or anything? Let's play it.
This shows the revenues that are going into our general fund. So they're page 1 and 2 both highlight revenue items. There is one line in there which is that I already discussed verbally, so it's the line 01-00-313, which is our sales tax revenue. So that's the line that you would identify, that will identify the increase that is being recommended at this time, and how that, and it will illustrate how that will impact our annual budget. All other lines on here are will still remain at the same rate and level. Pause for a moment, see if there are any questions or comments first from board members. Hearing no questions, I'll open up questions from any residents at this time on page 1. Brother Lee. Yes. I'll defer to our finance director. Do you want to defer on that? Okay, Trustee Belcher.
So we receive money from local cannabis that's within the area. So they say if it's, I don't want to quote the mileage, but there's a cannabis that's in Calumet City, a cannabis dispensary. We get money off that. We get the one money off the one in Markham. So it's a mileage that we surrounding cities get money off of. We still get it. We get a percentage off of it. Yeah, it's one imposing too. Okay, Lauren, now you answer. Yeah, it's a small percentage.
Yeah, it's only, I think it's under 1%.
Hold on, y'all, I'm sorry.
Very minor.
Yeah,
give me a
all
second,
the
y'all.
surrounding towns get a percentage of it.
I apologize. I'm learning how to use the streaming equipment. So instead of it just staying on one particular screen, it's jumping to what I'm looking at. And y'all watching it, give me 1 second because I'm trying to put the actual budget of what they're saying on the screen. So I'm going to keep this here and pray for me I can get it together. Bear with me, y'all. We doing good on this stream, though. This is my first time streaming with this equipment. So hit the like button.
Yeah, it's completely distributed by the state, so they pay their taxes to the state and then they just allocate it accordingly.
I think that's good that it's around the city.
Okay. We don't have one, but yes. Any additional questions on page 1? Hearing none, we're going to go to page 2. Page 2 concludes the portion of the revenue for our general fund. There are 2 sections on here that I will talk through a little bit. Towards the middle of the page, there's a line that says total revenues. And if you look off to the right, it has revenues of about $24,231,000 and some change. This is the section that will that shows how much money our general fund will get from our day-to-day normal operations. If you'll note, we can look back to our actuals from the previous year, which were at 22 million. But then I will also bring us back to the actuals for the year before, which was about 24 million. So this budget that we are proposing is something that is in line with prior years. We did see a dip last year, and a lot of that dip came from uncollected business licenses that were not being processed properly. Other fines and fees, our court went down for a few months because of challenges we were having, and all those are being reinstated. So what we're looking at for our day-to-day operations is revenue at a level that we've already achieved.
Thank you so much. Are you hear me? Harem speak on. I'm over here with the serious place, but this OBS, I really like it better than StreamYard because I think I'm gonna have more control and it's gonna send out my notifications. So shout out to you. Y'all see me with the serious face, but I'm listening and I'm trying to get that other paper on the screen. If not, I'm gonna just read it to y'all and compare and contrast.
Now when we go down a little bit further, it has our what I would consider one-time uses or one-time revenue items. The larger 2 being the bond sale as well as the sale of fixed assets. And that adds an additional $2.6 million and gives us to the bottom line number for revenue in a general fund of just short of 27 million. The bond is something that we have with home at disposal. That's what pays for the garbage collection and garbage pickup. That's a bond that we have had well over 10 years, and every year we do an annual renewal. This year, because of our cash condition, we've had to increase that.
Harold, walk me through this. This is what it is. I'm trying to add another screen, but when I add another screen, it's basically like duplicating this screen. So when I add another source, it's like the same source is showing up. You saw how I had both of this duplicated? I added another screen. So hold on one sec. Browser. Yeah, y'all see what I'm talking about. Okay, let me try this window capture. Maybe I could do something a little different if it let me capture the window. Let me let this play real quick and see if it happens.
Prior years when it first came out, there was a $1.4 million bond taken out. We had gotten to a place of reducing it for some years, but this year we needed to do an increase, so that's why we see the amount larger on our home with disposal bond. And it is the direction of this board, to my knowledge, that we will again begin gradually decreasing that year over year.
Okay.
The $558,000 is the sale of the cell tower lease that was recently voted on by the board, and that's revenue that will be coming in within the next 2 months. So, having talked that through, I'll pause right here to see if there are any questions from anybody on page 2.
Yeah. See?
Mm-hmm.
Like, geez, that's pretty high. It can't.
I'm gonna do.
Hold on.
For our revenue, it seems like that's what we really look for our revenue come from the red light fees.
Well, no, the red light fees, so there's a couple of components to it. The red light fees are pretty much in line with previous years. The reality is if people are non-compliant, revenue comes from that. So it's not a target at people saying, oh, we must get this amount of money. It's a reality that in this particular location, people are not compliant, and because of that, we get tickets. Second part of that is when we talk about where we're primarily looking to get our money from, the largest line of income that comes from our operating budget is our property tax collection. So the red light fees, I would say, comprise less than 10% of our revenue for the village. So it's not a target, it is a compliance issue, and it also does have revenue associated with it. Nathan, you had a question? Oh, sorry. I'm sorry.
Almost got it.
Well, I'll stop. So I will. There are fees in here for revenue associated with tickets. I will say we are not putting in any mandates or ticket mandates or follow-up. The tickets are strictly about compliance. So right now we know that people are running through the stop signs. We know we're going to get it, but that is not the emphasis or focus on this budget. It's just a reality that we know ticket revenue will be coming because in different cases people are non-compliant. Increased police presence is mandatory, and I think that's some of the things you've seen. The board has put high emphasis on our ability to increase the number of officers because with us having previously having less officers, we didn't have the bodies out there to write those tickets. At this time,
oh,
yes,
snap. I think I got it.
Oh,
thank you.
Even the system has a body that reviews it.
Boom. I know I've been messing up, y'all, but Harum, you saved me. Thank you. I use Streamlab, not OBS, but it should be pretty close. Okay, so I thought Streamlab was an OBS, but it's a browser based, but they have more features. So I got Streamlab. This is Streamlab, and you was exactly right. So it's just things to move around. Thank you, Harum. You saved my life. Do y'all want me to go back just a little bit so y'all can listen, and we can kind of scroll down as this is going so y'all can see it? And then we're going, when it gets to the police and public works, that's when we're going to kind of like just dig into it. Thank you so much. Say my damn love. Okay.
I'm sorry. Increased police presence is mandatory, and I think that's some of the things you've seen. The board has put high emphasis on our ability to increase the number of officers because with us previously having less officers, we didn't have the bodies out there to write those tickets. At this time, yes, but we did. Well, that one is still, even the system you have to have a body that reviews it when it comes through. So it still does take some manpower, but it doesn't take as much. But again, I want to emphasize that
it didn't work.
Ticket revenue is primarily.
Harum, it didn't work. You see what I'm saying? I think maybe it's because this is the free version and I'm starting to use it. You see what happened, Harum? When I went and started to move stuff around a little bit, and it jumped off of that screen. Hold on one second. You see that?
About compliance and getting people to follow the laws the way they're written up.
On the subject of fees, you all have numbers on the percentage of people that actually buy city stickers every year. We have 10%, 20%, 30%. And last I heard,
did it do it again?
And are there any plans to bring that to full compliance as far as all of the...
All right, we're not doing that. Harum, we're going to figure it out, but I'm getting better. I got an idea, but I think maybe when I purchased the full membership that it allowed me to do it. But I see what you're saying. I put a few different wedges up there, and then I switched it to one be web-based wedge, and then one be actually like the internet-based wedge. Does that make sense? And then one a PDF-based wedge. And every time I do this, like this one was the PDF base, it's showing, but I can't move things around. So we just gonna talk through it, and then I'm gonna show y'all on the police side what's going on, because you see what happened when I do that? It just switches over. So I'm sorry I'm having a little technical difficulty, guys, but y'all know I got new stream equipment, but we gonna get it. We gonna get it, cause it's all a learning experience. Let's play this real quick.
I don't know if I'm reading. I have a lot of money.
Yes. Yes, we do. We do have data on that. So we'll make sure that we follow up and get those hard numbers to you. We would compare the number of stickers sold to the list that we get every year of all vehicles registered in the village. So but that'll give us the starting point. And yes, there will be more compliance. That's another area that we have to, unfortunately, I shouldn't say unfortunately, realistically write tickets on.
Yeah. When you say asset, could you explain that more into detail to me?
I'm gonna ask if you go ahead.
So fixed assets is kind of an accounting term for any type of big, like say equipment, building, land, etc. So there was a sale of, they were cell towers, right? That the village sold off. So we're getting the revenue from selling those off. Does that answer your question?
Yeah.
So let's clarify this, y'all. I thought that they were making an easement on the cell towers. You know, that's remarkably different than just selling the daggone cell towers that's actually located on public works property. Y'all know that's a big difference. That's a one-time revenue. I thought if they created an easement and allowed the electricity company, like, okay, they sell it and create an easement. We got to verify that, because, you know, the community could create an easement and they could only be used for that. And nah, it's not gonna work. They supposed to own it. They supposed to own it. That's what I'm saying. Something's not gonna work right for them just to sell those cell towers. They're not gonna make money off of it unless the easement is created, and then within the easement they have to give some dividends back to the city. This is something y'all gotta look into, because it sounds like that's a one-time sell. Honestly, the last time I talked about those cell towers, I thought it was going to be like an easement type thing. I'm so used to my camera being here. I got one here. I'm so used to the easement type. I'm thinking that y'all was going to make money residual, but it sounded like a one-time thing. I don't know if that's beneficiary.
I just wanted to know what were the fixed assets.
Oh, okay. It's cell towers.
I knew what the assets were.
Yeah.
Okay. Any additional questions on page 2? You said the workers' comp reimbursement? Wait, which line item?
Monitor. Who baby?
Well, this part is
I'm sorry, I love kids. He's so cute with his little fro.
So that's money that we collect. I am gonna ask.
Keep him away from Andrew Holmes.
Our finance team to expand a little bit.
Yeah, so this would be for any type of reimbursement, not necessarily from residents, but from like our workman's comp insurance, our, you know, any type of MFT reimbursement. It has to do not necessarily with residents, but just the different organizations. Does that?
Correct.
Every so often, it's one of those that it all depends on what happens. So we always like to throw some money in there because there's always a chance of them owing money over the next year, and we try to keep it consistent with what's been in the past. So that's where those numbers came from.
Okay. All right. Any additional questions on page 2? I hear none. I'll go to page 3. This is where we begin the expense portion for our general fund. So this shows the expenses for our administrative department, general administration, which is mostly here at Village Hall, And it compares this year to previous years. I'll pause and see from the board members any questions on this page. Hearing none, I'll ask for community residents any questions on page 3.
Oh.
I think we can all be finance experts in a moment. Lauren, watch out. Okay, we're gonna go towards page 4, still in the general fund. This will show expenses for the media center and the clerk's office. Oh, page 3? Okay. Yes, ma'am.
Screen capture. Yes. All right. Harem, I love you. You really teaching me too while we go live. My template as well. That's what I was thinking too. I got to get different templates because I was like, maybe it's a template and I can add more screens and switch over. So yes, Harem, thank you so much. Oh my God. It says, so the taxpayers have to pay more letters because Ed Steve need a nickname. What he got on his thing? He got a new nickname up there. You know they're gonna spend money frivolously. Some of these things we're gonna go over what they're talking about. I'm gonna show you directly on the screen, but I think I know where I made the mistake at. But I'm just gonna let this still play. Next time we're gonna have it together. Thank you, Harem. You really taught me a lot. I appreciate you.
So each department, we're in the general administration department. So administration, there's no retro money, but in each department, there'll be a breakdown of retro for that department.
Let me see. How that look?
Okay, we'll go to page 4, which is the media center and the village clerk's office. Guys, any questions from the board on this page? If not, I'll open up for questions from the community. This is our chance to put the clerk on the spot. Okay.
Yeah, that's in other contractual parts.
I mean, I think we should just let them know that.
Okay, so do you see the 22.5 in here for the clerk's office? That's for codification of the ordinances. That's for our GovQA system, which tracks
y'all can look at this real
the
quick.
mayor took it away, we now put it back in.
The previous mayor.
Previous mayor. Previous mayor.
There we go.
Took that program away, and why we.
Just know the clerk budget doesn't look too bad. That's the clerk budget I'm looking at. I'm gonna flip through it. I think y'all can still hear her talking, but it doesn't look too bad. When we get to the police budget, it look terrible.
Lawyers. This system will track lawyers from the beginning to end, so we don't lose any because they're not being taken care of. And then we also have money in there for a cloud-based program where we store records called Laserfish, and that's where we store all the documents that come into the clerk's office. You know, we try to do away with paper, so we store as many paper documents in a cloud base. So if people are looking for copies of anything, it's quicker for us to look up ordinances, lawsuits, whenever someone has a copy, it comes into our office.
Okay, thank you for that, clerk.
It sounds like they're gonna make the FOIA how Dolton Township FOIA is. It sounds like they're gonna make it online instead of doing email paper FOIAs. But then I gotta give it to y'all. People had issues with Dolton too. I had to give it to her. I was getting my FOIAs. Somebody let me know. Is she the FOIA officer? Cause I got my FOIAs. They did their thing when it came to after a while. I guess maybe when she got into the system, she did a good job too. I'm just gonna be honest.
Right here, no additional questions on page 4. We'll be moving towards page 5. This is the expenses for our police department. So the police department budget, look to the bottom right, $7.2 million. I will make a note on here. There is a reduction, of course, in the projected budget for our overtime salaries because we will not be having security details, I promise. However, at our current staffing, overtime is still a requirement, so you will note some adjustments to that particular line, but I'll pause that.
So look at that. It is the overtime, and I'm glad he was honest. He was honest because that's what I wanted to call out. I didn't get to see it, but this meeting, but page 5 is the police. Here we go, and the overtime is pretty high. Look at this. This is ridiculous. Yeah, overtime was estimated to be $600,000 for 2024, which is the time. And well, Henyard was in and out. It was 1.6 million. So they have an expected of 1.2 million this year, and they're looking. The actual as of April is 1.3 million. They're spending too much on overtime. So I'm just trying to figure out how is it kind of similar if you're not getting private, security. And not saying that he is, but damn, what's going on? Especially highlighting that the Southside crime is going up. I don't know exactly what's going on in Dolton, if it's a whole lot, but I definitely know that y'all need to, I think, split up that budget so y'all can have an animal shelter too, or get them 2 jobs for this high overtime that's allegedly going on overtime. Maybe y'all need to recalculate how much they get for overtime or something, but it's not copacetic. It looks like it's going to be very expensive. Also, the medical premiums is going up. There's a few other things that I want to look at, but we're going to look at it in future lives. And there's also one more thing I want to show you in Public Works. Also, look at this. This is one thing we got to pay attention to. Check this out, y'all. If we can we start to figure out, I will, don't worry, the forfeiture, how much money they got in forfeiture and how much is going out. The cops get to keep their forfeiture money. Do you see what I'm saying? Where is that money going to? All of the whatever they're getting from people. You telling me it's zero forfeiture? So Lacey Lewis was talking about that, having the ability to spend the money he wanted to, that forfeiture money. So I wanted to show y'all that real quick. I'm glad that House was transparent. He was honest. It's ridiculous over time.
As board members, any questions on page 5?
Mayor,
Trustee Norwood?
I don't have a question, but I would like to commend the Trustee Butcher and yourself and everyone on the police committee for the awesome swearing today. I heard Mr. Lee ask, hey, well, what about the stop sign? So we did swear in a new chief of police, so everyone drive slow.
And I didn't get to do my research on the chief of police, but we will do a full live. But according to what Trina has posted and from what she showed directly on the Illinois State Training Board, he has way more than 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 pending allegations or past allegations. Don't quote me. Regardless, if it's pending or if it was old, we don't need that, because Kiana said directly, we're not hiring people who got baggage. So that letter will be going out to you tomorrow, because I knew it wasn't going to serve during the holiday, but I want to know why you still risking the residents and the safety with people who have sketchy backgrounds. I want to know why.
Well, to that end, I want to make sure we invite everybody out to the formal swearing in of our new police chief, Jeffrey Chapman, which will be at our next board meeting September 2nd. He will have family coming in, and we want to make sure that they have a nice, warm and welcome, warm welcome from the Dolton community and continue moving things forward. All right. Any questions at all on page 5? Yes, sir. Mark.
Go back to page 1 for a minute.
Yes, sir.
Excuse me?
Well, that's actually, so the clerk, that's for the entire clerk's office. So that also has the deputy clerk. The village clerk actually falls under the elected officials, which will be on which page is that? the page 3, I believe. Yeah, on page 3 includes all the elected officials, which would be the mayor, clerk, and all trustees.
Are you questioning that amount for actuals for 2024? Is that where you got that 17,000
Try
from?
to get that wedge on the screen. I'm gonna try one more time,
I know
Harold.
a lot of you were aware that the mayor illegally terminated the deputy clerk. Right. And that's why that salary is so low for that period. And then we were able to bring her back on board. Okay. Previous mayor.
So make that clear, okay?
Stop me a minute. I think I'm just like.
Okay.
Previous.
Okay, so we're looking through any additional questions, page 5. All right, hearing none, we'll move on to page 6. Page 6 being our fire department. Fire department have an approximate budget of $4.3 million. Similar standard expense categories. Pause first to ask board any questions on this page.
I would just like to say that I am glad that we have gotten to the point where the contracts were up to date. I'm sure that we'll have to start on the next year, but also just making arrangements and agreements for retro pays to those.
Hold on, y'all. This is what I wanted. It was something else. It was contracts. Let me go back. I think this is what she took when she said contracts. It made me think about. I think this is the issues in public works as well. This is page 7. I need y'all to pay attention real quick because I'm gonna stop flipping through this page to when I get it together and we could have both of them on there. But this is just a few things I want y'all to look at on public works. When you look at the public works, this is a public works department. You see the money spent on sidewalks, maintenance services, other professional services. That's where I was at. That's what I was looking at. And tree maintenance. Do y'all see this real quick? Please, y'all. I don't like it. It's not looking good. And we'll play the rest. But this is what I wanted to show y'all. This is under public works. So this is 2024, 25, and 26. Obviously, maintenance vehicles is going up. This year, the actual in 2024 was $137,000 for maintenance of public works. The streets, $40,000 was budgeted in 2024, and only $16,000. Sidewalks, this is the sidewalks. That's what I'm trying to figure out. This is the streets, and this is the sidewalks. What was used in the streets was in 2025 was nothing. In 2026. So is this budgeted? Is that going under the parks and bridges? What do maintenance of streets mean? And why is it none here? Also, maintenance services other. What the heck is it? Because it went from $2,000, $2,500 to $15,000 possibly for 2026. These are just some of the things. You know, we had issues with contracts. So we got to make sure that y'all getting your RFPs, they have fair bidding, and that they're getting to choose correctly. The last thing I want to, these last two, other professional services, don't know what that is. You're going to spend $200,000 in 2026 for other professional services here. I know y'all can see it. Y'all can see this. This is the year 2024, 25, and 26. The next number is the actual. So other professional services under public works is supposed to be $32,000 budgeted for 2024. They spent $441,000. What is that? What is that? Now we're going to say Tiffany up in there. The next year was $80,000. They actually spent $79,000. The next year is going to be $80,000, but their actual may be $120,000. But can't that go to the salaries? Because something is going on here. This is what I have to show y'all. In 2024, the salaries for public work was $1.2 million. Maybe because she was running shit out through Krigley, allegedly. But as time went on, you see for 2025 right here, it's going to be $150,000. The actual budget was 100. Is going to actual is supposed to be 154. Again, why is the salary so low? How many people could you pay with $150,000? The average for a person to live in America is at least $60,000 to $70,000 a year. So you only gonna have 2 regular salaries? No operator? That's what I'm saying. Like, y'all gotta have to do something with this public works budget because it's looking kind of crazy sauce. But this is where they about to get y'all asses. They about to blind y'all. I'm saying, I'm keeping it real. Because they already sold an asset that can bring them money in. I pray that asset they sold, they created an easement and make, they make some money from it. But obviously, I don't know. Because I thought it was an easement. You know what I'm saying? Like they owned it and then they just leased it out to the utilities company. That's an easement. But if you don't own it and you ain't leasing it out, you don't get no money. But I think they're going to spiritually blind y'all with this tree maintenance thing because they have a budget for $100,000 for it now. For 2024, the budget was like Zippo. They spent $26,000. The next year, they have a $5,000 budget, which is this year. Actual $4,000. Obviously, that's what Trina talking about. They came and cut it one damn time. And she like, what's going on? So that number may go up. Next year, they're thinking about spending $120,000. $100,000. So I think they're going to spiritually blind y'all and cut them damn trees. They're going to cut the trees because that's where the people complain. I can see this happening with the trees, but don't forget all this other stuff is going on. Does that make sense? It's some other stuff going on. And then peep this. Hauling disposable service. Y'all have no money budgeted for it. Well, how the hell y'all gonna move all these trees? Y'all gonna contract out? Which is gonna spend more money? Which is gonna, maybe cause some issues because we still can't trust what's going on with the contractors in that area. So I just think some of this money that's supposed to go to other professional services, I don't know what that is. If it's contractors, it may need to be allocated towards regular salaries. Because it looked like y'all only could fucking hire 2 or 3 people. And the superintendent salary, how many superintendents y'all have for public work? Because he's getting $85,000. From this year, he's going to have 60 and go up to $85,000. And under Tiffany, he had 60. So, this is just a little preliminary. Y'all know I got excited when I saw but like, oh shit, Grace about to tell. But there's some weird things going on with public work. And if y'all really need public works to get more people in there, you're going to need training. Look at the overtime. The whole overtime is just as much as the regular salary going to be. So won't you just hire somebody and make that 2 people with over 2 people regular salary? Y'all see what I'm saying? This is what I wanted to show y'all. That's why I was trying to go back and forth with this document, but I'm like bump it because it's stressing me out. That's the only thing I'm going to show y'all with these documents for right now. But we have to know that it is some funny business still going on. Can't totally disregard that it is some weird spending going on. So let's finish listening, and then we're going to get into the expansion of clean, and then we'll be finished with the live, okay? This is all for information, educational purposes only. Thank you for being here. Obviously, y'all know I like this. I wouldn't be here talking about somebody else's neighborhood board meetings if I did not care. Okay? We don't get that much views on this, but I'm here for it, baby. If I can help, that's what I'm here for. So let's finish listening to this, and then we're going to look into clean, where they're looking to expand. As we mentioned, there are going to be some zoning changes. It's going to affect people's property value, and it's going to cut on the amount of houses that's in Dolton with this project if it expands.
departments that needed to be paid. Of course, as we stated, that's why I initially started off saying that I'm happy that everyone was able to work on this budget so diligently because there's a lot of back owed money that's owed out. So we had to do some creative ways and making sure that everybody was made whole or made arrangements to make them whole so they can move forward and continue to move the community forward. So I am glad to just say that that has been taking priority because it was an issue before.
Thank you very much, Trustee. Any additional questions or comments on the board at this time?
Yeah, I think we're gonna get through all that.
Any questions from Ms. Mary? Yeah. Yeah. At this time, we have one person, the one person in that department. Is it one?
Yes.
Yeah, we have one.
His salary is split up between two parts.
Between two parts. Yeah, we have one in that department. There is still more analysis on how we're going to move forward with that department, but at this time, it's one.
No, that's not his salary. That's just the budget for as the person that is currently that I think you're referring to. Salary comes out of two different departments, so it's not just one out of ESTA.
What are they talking about? Public Works?
That is absolutely correct.
That's just the money that's allocated.
Hey, grant writing on page 5. I know you said it was nothing on there. Have we not, do we have a grant writer or we not budgeted?
We have not budgeted for one at this time, though.
Can y'all hear the questions that they asking? Because I can't hear the total questions that they asking.
Keep up, Natalie. Because we on page 7. I know.
All right. So what we're going to do is stop right here because this is exactly where I stopped at and I found my dilemmas as far as Public Works, what was going on with it, the pay discrepancy, where money is going to as far as overtime for both the police and Public Works. They have to do a little bit more planning with that and get more people in. If they have to go to the college, if they need to go to the school, high school to start getting people who can work after school and doing certain things and trainings, that's what's going to have to be done. I'm going to be honest. We're going to dedicate one full live to the budget, baby. You know, it's going to be a little dry, blow dried and pressed, but it's going to be some good information. I ain't going to overwhelm y'all, but let's get to this. This is where we're going to start wrapping up because we 2 hours into this and I'm getting a little tired, y'all. We did good. My son brought my coffee though. The stream went live good. We had Harum on speak on it. Thank you for being here and helping me through some of my issues. I got an idea what you're talking about, but I get just so over it that I know I got an idea what you're talking about, and I'm gonna try it again so we can have more than one thing. And if not, I'm gonna just buy my subscription like I'm supposed to and divorce StreamYard because I'm over StreamYard. Now this is what I want to show y'all. Let's get to this real quick. It's gonna be a problem. Okay. Oh, God. Y'all see it on the screen? Can you see it? Okay, right here is Safety Clean System expansion project. So this was their proposal that they had sent, I guess, and we have it. It was under in Dolton agenda. Okay, so here we go. And this is what I want to show y'all. This is what I was concerned about. I do believe giving this company what they want is going to create some serious changing with zoning. That's what I said. You guys have to go to the meetings. Here is where the property is at. This is Safety Clean. To my understanding, Safety Clean owns this particular property that I'm highlighting in a rectangle. I can't verify yet. Do they own this yard right here? But they may not. When you look at the next picture that we show you, right here is certain parts that's owned by the Park District and owned by Dolton, where you see all of these trees at. And I think this is where they're trying to acquire the particular property. in between these trees, you will see that there is a lot. I'm thinking this is a street because it says Center Avenue. I'm thinking it's an avenue or a street, but they're describing it as a lot. I mean, yeah, as a city walkway or some nonsense. Now here is the zoning map, and this is exactly what we have to pay attention to. So these the Plant Business Center. So they have a Plant Business Center right here, down here at the bottom. Plant Business Districts in blue, General Business Retail. This is a good ledger. I love it. Now, this is where the subject property is at right here. I'm thinking that this whole red area is limited manufacturer district, general manufacturer district. This whole red area, and with the stripes, you see it. It says limited manufacturer, and it says general manufacturer, which makes this non-residential. All right here already. And then we got the business district. When you look at this picture, it doesn't look that bad, because it looks like this set of trees and everything kind of create a division to hide this industrial area, which I think is good, especially when you have residential homes. Like, this is a city. We don't want to see big trucks and shit. You know, I have a junkyard that's not far from my house, but I never knew how big it was because they didn't allow it to be by us, by the residents. It's in a, like, behind the gas station, and then way behind it, it's just a lot of land. So this makes sense right here. But what they're trying to do is acquire this area, this set of green, this first set that's by the red. They're trying to acquire all of that. Now I want you guys to pay attention. Right here, it looks like one family dwelling districts. So we already know that whatever's here or not here is going to be taken from one dwelling, one level family homes, first and foremost. But you guys gotta pay attention to the area and what it's going to do for it cosmetically, and what it's going to do when it comes to traffic. Peep this. If they move all of this, because this is what it looks like they're trying to have. If you look at this is Center, and this is the Park District area right here, and this is Conawana. Conawana is a street, I think. Where is that? Conawana is this street right here, guys. Check it out. Is this street. So yeah, that's where you got to see this Center and Conawana. They're trying to get this particular area. So Conawana is a street. It looks like they want even up to the Conawana area. But check this out. This is how they got it looking. They put down their plan of what they want. So already right here, you know that Safe Cleans owns this. This is where they're at. You're going to be able to see. This is Center Avenue, which they said was like a lot. They said this was like a Center Avenue. This is Center Avenue. I do apologize. This is Center Avenue that's in between what they want to acquire in their property. They want to acquire Center Avenue. This is what they want to acquire, the street and everything. So the areas they're looking to acquisition to get. 1, 2, 4, 7. So here you go. 1 right here, Center Avenue. Where the hell is 2? 2. Catapola. I'm saying it wrong. Lane. They're trying to acquire that to own it. So they're gonna own the traffic. They're gonna block it off. Looking like kind of like what Hassan did, where he was able to break over off, like block off the road, but he didn't get to acquire that land. Does that make sense? Because it looked like they're trying to put a fence here. So Area 3 proposed land acquisition is the Park District land. This is where Part 3 is at. This is the Park District land right here. And the village owns this part. So that's why when I was looking at the picture, I was like, oh shit, they trying to take a park. This is the park right here. And this is where Dolton owns. So it's zoning issues as far as what's supposed to be here, because what Dolton owns and what the Park District owns is houses that could be there. So they're trying to expand all of this and make it more industrial. meaning rezoning has to happen. But this is what I want y'all to consider. Consider that y'all live on Conaswana, whatever avenue, in 138th Street, and you're behind you. You have a whole bunch of trees and forests and whatever, but then now they're going to have this industrial area pushed directly behind the homes, directly behind the residential. Does that make sense? This is how it's going to affect your property value. So when I said that before, I said, oh snap, some zoning and some zoning change is going to happen, and property values are going to change, because now who the hell want to buy a house that's going to be behind a big ass trucking company that's an oil refinery company actually? So their goal, and I'm just going to close off with this because y'all get to look at this and we'll go into it a little bit more. This is their goal. Their goal is to expand. So once they expand, damn, excuse my language, they want to go all the way to 50 parking. Okay, no, they don't want to go to Kalawana Avenue. They just want to get all the way up here. They calling this a public alley. They're gonna make this a public alley. So where all these trees was at, and where you had zone for one level homes, they want to make this parking spots for their trucks. So I guess the trucks will come in and park here, park all in here. But y'all already know what happens. The more trucks that they bring in, the more inventory they bring in, the more work they bring in, the bigger space they need. It's not going to stop. That's what I'm seeing. Once you let them expand for alleged parking and more trucks, it means more revenue can be brought in, and that means that eventually they're going to want to expand the project. They say, you got any questions? Thank you. We have several questions. So y'all let me know what y'all think of this actual oil refinery company that wants to acquire this land, and this land being Park District land at the bottom as well as Dolton land, which is going to put them directly behind homes, which is going to affect the cost of living. This is a business district right here, and this is industrial already. It's already big as hell. So you pushing the residents out more and more. And that was literally my concern. So I'm glad that they put this up here for us to see, because y'all already know something ain't right, Peggy. I'm just going to be honest. Something is not right. So, you have anything, you don't need a subscription, trust me. Yeah, okay, I'm gonna check it out because I like this. Thank you, Hiram. I like it. I like live stream. I had this for a while, but it was so complicated for my brain. I had so much going on. I was like, no. But I'm gonna try my best, because y'all know I like to present documents. Like, that's what StreamYard be good for. I was even thinking like, boom, I was gonna do this, Hiram. I was gonna do this. I was gonna go right on StreamYard. It has StreamYard up there. Let me see if y'all can see it. And then I was going to show my clips like that. If worst come to worst, if I got to show my PowerPoints, because I can still show StreamYard and show, I ain't playing. But I will learn how to separate my screens. So thank you so much, Aaron. You was a really big help. So with that goes to say, we were on for a while. Some of y'all, look at the chats. They finally came up. Ooh, baby. That's what I'm talking about. Hit the like button. Somebody subscribe so I can see y'all pop up. With that goes to say, I said enough. I hope you guys learned a lot, put some things together. It's all about us learning and growing. Y'all know what I like to do. I don't care if it's 5 or 10 people here. I'm going to give it to you heavy, hot, and you know. So with that being said, I'll see y'all in the morning. Check out my morning show, because I'm going to be talking about Trump dog. You said I did it. I did pop up. Thank you for popping up. You did. I appreciate you. Appreciate you guys. And thank you for giving me a chance and getting to know Grace Levi one more again. With that being said, I gotta go. Let me see how I'm going to log off of this thing.